Okay. Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner Classics. This is episode number 2178 and Doubleshot number 2072. I got two trades for Shang-Chi. First up we have is Marvel vs. Shang-Chi. These are like a series of stories related to Shang-Chi published over the years. Here's what we have in here. We have from Wolverine First Class number 9, Marvel Adventures Spider-Man number 2, the Free Comic Day issue featuring Spider-Man. This actually was a prelude to Spider Island, Master Kung Fu number 126, and The Legend of Shang-Chi number 1. Now, who writes these ones? Fred Van Landen does Wolverine First Class. Marvel Adventures Spider-Man, Paul Tobin. That's set in the Marvel Adventures universe. Free Comic Day 2011, written by Dan Slott, art by Roberto Ramos. The Master Kung Fu, done by current AEW wrestler CM Punk. The Legend of Shang-Chi, done by the current writer of Deadpool, Alyssa Wong. Yep, mostly put in the case of the Wolverine First Class issue. Shang-Chi is not the big of a player in this issue. Mostly put just Wolverine be taught a lesson by Shang-Chi. And just try to discover his own path in fighting him. And it's all getting towards Sabretooth. That's mostly put exactly what this issue is. But I thought the issue was really good. The Marvel Avengers issue, well, just Spider-Man countering him in this book. And no, this book is not canon in the main Marvel universe. Nope. Marvel Avengers books are set in a completely different universe. You could say, oh, just Shang-Chi pop up Peter Parker was in high school. Oh, by the way, they have him in the book wearing his garb he wore back in the 70s. So, why? I don't know why. Now, I had heard that the person who initially suggested this basically felt ripped off because he was not involved with it. Now, the Free Comic issue, like I mentioned, is mostly put a prelude to, because this is in 2011. This is probably, it's a prelude to, it's pure setup for Spider Island. That's most of what the issue is basically meant for. Yep. Yeah, it's basically also set up something that does play a role in the event, which is basically Spider-Man taught Kung Fu by, well, Shang-Chi. The Master Kung Fu issue is basically a story that's called Shang-Chi's Day Off. Now, at the time when CM Punk wrote this, he was not working for AEW. The book came out in 2017. This was actually just 3 short years after he had left WWE. Well, actually, he walked out of the company due to the fact that basically they didn't care about his health. And also the fact that their head trainer is terrible at his job. That is kind of what CM Punk was implying, from what I've heard. The fact that he also accused him for not treating a staph infection. Yes, he refused to treat a staph infection. He also had this big ball in his back. This whatever this thing was in his lower back that was the size of a freaking baseball. And also during his last WWE match, which was the Royal Rumble, he apparently suffered a concussion and wouldn't leave the ring. And the only way he could leave the ring was have Corporate King throw him out and put him doing announce table, and that was the last anybody saw him on WWE television. And of course, he returned to AEW. He returned wrestling in AEW in 2021, which was a great thing to see. This is actually one of the comics he wrote. Now, I've already discussed one comic he wrote, during his 7 years off, which was his really good series, Drax. He did with writer Colin Bunn, which I thought the book was fantastic. Now, this actually is one of the very few other books he wrote for Marvel. If we think about it, this is technically like, now, the first thing he wrote for comics, he wrote the 4 for the hardcover edition for, of all things, Avengers vs. X-Men. Oh yeah, by the way, the whole comics thing, this was actually referenced by MJF during his feud with him, where comics, nobody read? Really? You think nobody read Drax or this awesome one-shot, which could have led to an ongoing series, but didn't? Oh yeah, he also wrote, get this, he also wrote a short story for Thor Annual, which I have reviewed that. It's really good. With this particular one, I have pretty much in the way covered everything, by the way, with this reviewing this one shot. This is pretty much everything he's done for comics. Yeah, he didn't write very much. Not really. I'd say probably the only thing I haven't reviewed yet is a short story he did for Strange Sports Stories. They came back in 2015, which came after his story annual. Oh yeah, his story for the Thor annual was the story about young Thor getting drunk. Yep. And this comic here, this was the last thing he came out with. No joke. This was the last official thing he wrote. Because they didn't really give anything else for him to write after this. Not really, no. Yeah. Basically, this came out during the period of time of Marvel Legacy. And this mostly put just a good one-shot story for Shang-Chi. And anybody who reads this one-shot realizes, though, CM Punk is also a really good writer, too. The Legend of Shang-Chi just telling it basically had wearing this outfit, which he debuted in the movie. It's mostly put, you kind of think of it as a prelude to the Shang-Chi ongoing series we have right now. You kind of think of it as just that, despite the fact that Leslie One will not write the ongoing series, it's by somebody else. But this is really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd say probably my personal one-shot story in here is probably Master Kung Fu. Not just because of CM Punk, because I found the story really good. Yep. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, one more. Now, the whole point of Marvelverse books, yeah, it's basically for like 10 plus readers. But it's a good way to sort of introduce the characters. Some people have some good stories. Nothing bad here, per se. Alright, next up we have is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Now, I have not reviewed the third volume for this for the previous trade series, which was Shang-Chi by Gene Lin Yang, Volume 3 on the launch. I have not reviewed that yet. But this technically is the finale for this round. You're probably thinking, wait, why are you reading the finale before you read Volume 3? It's a good one I got my hands on. Now, this book contains Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, 1 through 6, and Shang-Chi Master Ten Rings, number 1. Mostly put is basically Shang-Chi. The whole point of this book, the whole story arc, is him getting his hands on the Ten Rings. No, not the very same Ten Rings that were basically used by the Mandarin since the 60s. Oh, no, no. These 10 rings are based upon the movie version of them. Yep, the movie version. Which they'll put their wristbands. Yep. It's Shang-Chi participating in a tournament. They get the hands of these damn things, and the one-shot is basically the conclusion of this damn thing. Now, they ended the previous book because they wanted to launch as a new ongoing series, but it got canceled. After only 6 issues and had a one-shot at concluding it. Yep. Is this book bad? No, it isn't. Gene Lin Yang it does really well in here. Here's the strange thing about this book. You know, the organization he had, that plays a very small part in this book. Unlike the ongoing series, which was the main part of the book, this book, it's barely brought up in here. He also has a brother, a full brother you didn't know about. You have Marcus too doing the artwork for the main title series, Master Ten Rings, Michael YG. Yeah, but this book was really good. They say, true origin of 10 rings. The 10 rings were the rings the man wore on his finger. These 10 rings are based upon the movie version that Marvel had thrown in the comic book. I'm sure that probably Jin Ling probably didn't want to do this. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He probably did this because of editorial mandate. And probably also because his book wasn't selling too well. That's my guess anyways what happened. I'm not sure. I have not met the guy, but I found this book really good. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. And no, I'm not done viewing either his run or even Shang-Chi. You're probably thinking, what else is there left to review for him? Is there any more trades left aside from this one? Well, the answer to the question is yes. There is still more trades to review. There is the Epic Collection for Shang-Chi. There are 3 books of that one, which only go up to 79. Let's see. There is the Master Kung Fu Battle War miniseries. Yep. There is... there's still many books per se. And if you're curious, how more trades will there go for him? Well, here's what we got left for him. We have the Master Kung Fu miniseries. We have Deadly Hands Kung Fu Out of the Past, which collects Deadly Hands Kung Fu, I think, second volume, and the probably the original volume per se. The Battle book. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. There's many more books. Many more books. So, oh yeah, there's also Earthman's Martial. I have reviewed that one. So, in actuality, all that's left to go is 2 omnibus series, a few one-shot volumes, and one-shot volumes be Shang-Chi Master Kung Fu, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu Out of the Past, Master Kung Fu Battle World, and third volume of Shang-Chi by Jean Ling Yang. And that's it. Oh, and here's a strange fun factoid about the Shang-Chi ongoing series, about the Shang-Chi book. Well, called Shang-Chi. Excuse me. The first book, which was a brief mini-series, Marvel decided not to include this as part of the numbering for the Master Kung Fu numbering. For some reason, I'm not sure why. But the ongoing is included, and so is this book. But not the previous miniseries. I never understood that. So, there's still plenty more review. But I have reviewed very much for Shang-Chi. Mostly put all I reviewed for him as well at the Marvel's book. Besides these 2 books in particular, there is the first 2 volumes by Shang-Chi by Jean Ling Yang and Earthman's Martial Arts. And that sadly is it. That's all I reviewed so far. Will I be reviewing more? Yes. There's plenty more stories I can review. Plenty more stories. So I got a lot to go. Okay, so that's episode review. Next episode will be Dr. Stone, and then case closed, and that'll be it for tonight. Okay, next video. Bye.